How do supination and pronation work? What ISA promotes more of one than the other? I like this question. So the way supination works, if we look at just the foot, is you have a combined action of plantar flexion, theoretically, through the ankle joint, calcaneal inversion, and what inversion does is it locks the midfoot under normal circumstances. And the reason why that is because when I invert the calcaneus, the navicular and the cuboid actually twist so they're atop one another. And when they twist so they're atop one another, that creates an arch in the foot. And that allows you to have an arched foot, which can be useful in a variety of circumstances. When the foot is arched, that's going to be associated with more external rotation through the extremity. And if we look upstairs at the pelvis, that's going to be associated with more counternutation at the sacrum. With pronation, you have the opposite. When I pronate, the ankle is going to dorsiflex, the calcaneus is going to evert. That helps unlock the midfoot and the forefoot because now the navicular and cuboid are no longer atop one another. They slide off to the side. And that allows the midfoot to flatten, which is useful during midstance. When I dorsiflex, evert, and I pronate, that's going to be associated with more internal rotation through the extremity, which is associated with nutation of the sacrum. So we have to ask, okay, so we have supination associated with external rotation. We have pronation, which is associated with internal rotation. What infrasternal angle presentations are biased towards each of those? Well, assuming we don't have other compensations. Generally, a narrow infrasternal angle is going to have more of an ER bias. So they may, and I say may with scare quotes, they may have a larger predisposition towards a more supinated foot type. And a wide would be the reverse of that, since they are more IR biased based on the pelvic orientation that is often common with them. They may have more of a pronated foot type. If you see the opposite of that, then what you're dealing with is other compensations that have occurred to make up for the movement restrictions that may be present in that particular individual. But that's the general rule of thumb. Supination associated with ER, counternutation, that's a narrow ISA. Pronation is associated with IR, which is associated with sacral nutation, which is typically seen more in wide infrasternal angles.